a bit long. Everything in Paris.
The duel.
The duel.
No.
That's.
If you were talking the duel, you got me. The duel was fucking choice. That was some good shit.
No, the duel's great, but the stuff before that is so good as well.
We should save this
I'm
for the
just gonna
recording.
talk about
We are recording. This is great.
Yeah.
Let's get it started. So, hi, welcome to Binge Buddies, Beagles to Bullets, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we did it.
Right?
Good job,
Okay, great. I'm
everyone.
your host, always, Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Matt, Zombie Dog, Cheddar, Dykes.
Don't know what that's from.
Does that
Move
mean
on.
Joel knows what that one is?
No, I just love the name.
I was because the laugh would be warranted if you knew what dog I was talking about. Ryan, any guesses?
Nope.
Cheddar the dog,
Nope.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The
I
chief
haven't
dog.
Oh,
seen
for
that.
God's sake, how did I not get that?
I don't like that show.
Oh, that's too bad. I love that one. Also just seemed like a great one for Matt. We also have Joel Hooch DeWitte.
I wonder what that is.
I wonder too.
I know.
Wouldn't it be great if you were wrong?
If there's another dog called Hooch in another
Yeah.
film.
You are excommunicado.
My favorite Christmas movie, Santa Buddies.
I've actually seen Santa Buddies. It's not good.
So you're saying we're not going to do a binge buddies of the
Oh, don't
Buddy.
tempt me. I have thought about it. I've thought about it many times. I just thought like there's no way people will keep listening. Like there's just absolutely none. How did I lose Ryan's? I had such a good one for Ryan. Oh,
your
there
fan
it is.
base is not interested in the extended buddy verse. Got it.
I don't think I'm interested enough, but you know, give us enough time. We'll run enough franchises. We'll get to the buddies. Binge buddies.
We
buddies.
I'm gonna say we have the title halfway in our name.
Yeah, just don't change a shit. It's just welcome to Binge Buddies.
Binge buddies.
It's like welcome to Buddies Binge Buddies.
But let's not forget, we also have Ryan Wishbone Lootens.
Dude. Fuck you, man. I love you. Thank you for
I
that.
thought you'd like that one.
What's the story, Wishbone?
I feel
Sorry.
bad for making you have to carry so much weight last week trying to defend part 3. I had to give you a good dog this week.
That's okay.
I had to stomp on your favorite part of the movie, and I feel bad about that. But you still got to talk about it a little bit.
That's all right.
Clearly,
I brought it up.
it's all right. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I brought it up non-discreetly. I'm sorry about that, by the way.
It's nothing to apologize for. We're good.
I made it quick.
Everything's fair in the podcasting Wild West, except for good things about John Wick Chapter 4. We all agree this movie sucks ass, right? Right?
Get fucked.
Yeah.
This is my last bin. I'm just kidding.
I have the pit viper with me.
Guys,
No,
Joel's hearing. We can't say anything bad.
We'll jump right into the very quick takes on this one. Fuck, man, this is easily the best sequel to John Wick, in my opinion. Like there's John Wick, then 3 miles away there's John Wick 2, a little bit closer John Wick 3, and then this one within distance. I can see this one of spitting distance of John Wick. Like this one actually feels like the sequel I wanted from that first movie. The action is great, but it's varied. It doesn't feel like it's just constantly shooting. They bring in a different sword fighting type, which I've never seen in a movie before. And the way Donnie Yen does it is just so fucking cool. Like this movie just nails that like fucking cool and action so well. Like it's just a very, very fun movie. All the problems I had last week about like that the gap between storytelling and the filmmaking is still there. Still bothers me, but significantly less, because I feel like the things that they put in there to make that stuff better really works. You bring in Clancy Brown, you're already doing like 10 steps more than you were before. Bill Skarsgård fucking brings it. Like that dude is one of the best actors working today, and I kind of didn't realize that. Like I knew he was great as Pennywise. I knew he was great in other things. You put him in something like this that he could just phone the fuck in, and he does it. He is a absolutely terrifying villain, to the point that I don't really know why I'm not asking where the girl from the last movie went. I thought for sure that'd bother me, and then I didn't think about it till like right now. I'm like, wait, where did she go? I
You
guess
mean the adjudicator?
yeah. Where did she go?
She did her job. She's done.
She failed. She's dead. Probably. Like she failed, so she's dead.
But
I
she didn't
guess.
fail.
She didn't.
She did her job. She just didn't understand that when the dude fell off the building, he was going to be fine. Because why would you guess that? But no, so the movie, it moves well. Like the pacing works much better. The action sequences are still very samey to the ones before, but there's enough like thought process put into them. They change things up. We get a sequence from Hotline Miami, one of my favorite video games. And then it's like, oh, that was really great. And they're like, fuck you, we got another one. And they do it all over again.
See, my mind went Streets of Rage when I was watching this.
How go watch footage from Hotline. It is Hotline
I
Miami.
have beaten Hotline Miami twice, and I understand where you're
Streets
coming
of Rage
from.
Then
Yeah, because I'm a beat 'em up fan, and that's where my mind goes to.
Even
My
the
mind kept
camera
going like,
angle.
okay.
I
okay,
went
we're
GTA, original GTA, that top-down thing.
Oh Lord.
It's Hotline Miami. It's definitely Hotline Miami. There's no question about it.
I know that now.
God damn
but
it.
When I first saw it at the cinema, I went,
accept
oh, well, GTA.
I just have to say, being a non-gamer, this was by far the greatest 2 minutes of my life. So thank you for that.
But
this is the most gamey of these movies too,
Yes.
though. Like I'm pretty closely aligned with Brian again. I think this is leaps better than 3. I think what makes it better is that the highs are really high. They've got some really, really strong moments, some really strong dialogue. I think it's too self-indulgent in some spots where I think this could have been a 2-hour, 15-minute movie, and I would have still gotten the same thing out of it. But
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
I mean
Like
that
the
speaks
long
to
shots
Chewie's
of Winston walking through the art gallery.
Dude, yeah, you can't rush art.
The good shots.
That's what this is.
First one
Yeah.
was.
That's
Now, all right, I'll do my hot take.
Yes,
okay?
go.
yeah.
When I saw it in the theater, it was just like me and my wife going to see the other ones. We were just going along for the ride. I remember like, okay, this is very good. You know, they did a really good job tying things together in a sense. But my second go around, I didn't realize how beautiful this movie is. Oof. In terms of photography and cinematography and some of these shots, they don't deserve to be in an action movie. A 4th action movie in a franchise. But they are, and they are visually breathtaking. There's
the unique color palettes you get as well is just, oh my God, so beautiful.
And I'm just thinking too, like, monotonous things like a silver fan that looks like blades and how they made that look when it's going around from the top, like it's cutting off everybody's head. Didn't really pick up on that when I first watched it, but like the closeness of the sand falling through as the Continental's about to blow up. You've got the image of Winston going through the art gallery. The sunrise, the Eiffel Tower, and the sun going through the Eiffel Tower. So many beautiful shots. You would think that'd be like art house drama nominated for Academy Awards, not John Wick 4. This movie is definitely up there. I don't know if this is going to take top spot or 1, but holy shit. 3 was my favorite until really I sat down and really like examined this movie, and it's really good. That's all I got.
My hot take. Love it.
Matt, your opinion on part 4. I don't remember when
we
talked about.
Move on. Don't get him started.
No. I'm going to bring this up because it's important to me. Like his opinion on part 4 back when he saw it in like March. I don't remember which episode we were recording in March. I don't have that type of memory, but whatever Binge Buddies show we were on.
Probably Halloween.
It might have been when you saw 4 and you told me how much you love 4. It made me want to watch this franchise. Like your take on this was so like it's so good, and I honestly don't disagree with you on part 4. Like if I just go 1 and 4 and forget 2 and 3, I'll still keep watching John Wick. Like I can make up the plot between 2 and 3. Not a lot there, and I can go straight to 4, and I'm good. Like this was so good.
I remember sitting in the theater. And every time I watch it at home now, because I've got a very sweet ass home cinema system with a very good subwoofer, that opening thing of that fist going and and you feel it. And I'm like, oh, let's go. I'm at 10 hards already at this point. Like, and and then you've got fucking like, it's not my quote. It's not, I'm guessing it's nobody's quote. The Bowery King as he's walking through the thing, like doing his little quote of like some sort of poem or something. But it's the thing where he gets to the door and he's like, as do I. Abandon all hope, you are about to enter. You are now in the presence of the motherfucking king. It is so amazing, that opening sequence, and it just sets the stage so well. And I like every time I watch this film again, I am seeing so many references to like classic cinema.
Mm-hmm.
I mean classic cinema. Like there's a reference to Lawrence of Arabia in that opening sequence. He gets the match, he blows it out, and you cut to the desert. That is a direct reference to a sequence in Lawrence of Arabia. I remember studying that one edit for like half an hour in film school, basically talking about this is what you can do with film editing. You are cutting out, like, you don't have to show how they got there. You just go from like a moment and then you're there. And it's so well done. Like the opening scene, and it sets you up for what comes next. And you know that already, you know it going in, there's something different about this. I don't know if they had a different cinematographer or if they just learned so much from all the other films that they were then really paying attention to like the color palette, the sort of like the imagery that they're constructing these films. But there's just something so gorgeous about the way this film is shot. It is phenomenal. And that's before you get to like how fucking amazing the action is in this film. Because again, very little CG. I think the only CG you have in these action sequences as it is like stuff that's too dangerous to actually do. Like the thing in Paris at the, what's that big roundabout called? Whatever it's called. Like the cars driving, they weren't actually on there because you can't close a major intersection in Paris to shoot a massive action sequence. But they did all that with like, you know, cables and shit with like stunt performers being thrown around and stuff like that. It wasn't like CGI people. And you get that like throughout all these action sequences, you feel that kind of weight and that, you know, oomph of like, you know, the fight sequences. It doesn't feel like, oh, you just CGI'd in a person, oh, you CGI'd in a car or something like that.
I got to jump in with that because that actually for me is, I'm not advocating to do CGI people instead. Don't take me the wrong way. By making them real people, it made that sequence and a lot of the sequences more unbelievable than anything so far, because you feel them getting hit by car after car after car after car after car after car after car. I can keep going. And then they stand up, they're like, let's go. I can do this. And it's like, Jesus Christ, I've been hit by a car before. You don't get up. Like, you just kind of go, fuck, I'm just going to lie here for a minute and see which bones are broken. Luckily, I didn't break any bones. But still,
depends how fast the car's going, though. Like, they're
going so fast.
Do you still
not all of them?
Does it matter if a 1-ton elephant hits you full speed or just nudges you with his paw? Like it's still gonna hurt.
It's still gonna hurt, especially if it was just one car. Okay, but as I said, it's car. I'm just continuing from before, car after car after car. It's just so, and it's fun, and I love it. And what I mentioned it last week, and I'm gonna mention it more this week. When John Wick knows to lean into the camp, I have more fun with the movies. And 4 feels like it finally stopped flirting. Like, are we campy? Are we not? And it's like, no, we're campy. It's a very campy action movie. We're gonna have fun with it. And this sort of shit really speaks to that, and I can have fun with it. It kind of goes almost Looney Tunes-esque, but it does also have that like, okay, this guy's dead. Like, there's no way he has a bone that isn't broken anymore, and he still just kind of stands up. He walks a little more stiff, but he's jello. Like, there's no way.
Brushes off the glass.
Brushes off the bones sticking out of his body. Like, no big deal. We don't need those bones. There's a spare bones.
Spare ribs.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step all over the end of your breakdown there, but I'm just like, no, I agree with you. It makes it better, but by making it better also makes it a little worse.
But yeah, like when you mentioned like whoever it was who mentioned Clancy Brown in there, I have a note dedicated to Clancy Brown, the Harbinger. Clancy fucking Brown, like that's it. Like he's so anything I've seen him in, the whatever he's in, it could be a pile of dog shit, but he is always fucking amazing.
You mean Pet Cemetery too?
Sure.
Yep, there it is.
He's still good in that. No, absolutely. I told my wife, I go, you could edit this movie with just his scenes, still be a fucking good movie.
Yeah.
And the best thing about Clancy Brown, the best, he's a fucking cool dude. He used to come to my Starbucks all the time. He is as nice as could be. He's intimidating as fuck, even when he's just like, one tall coffee. And it's like, Jesus Christ, it's Clancy Brown. Like,
Oh my God, it's Red Death.
It's Red Death.
Don't chop my head off.
But no, like I fucking love Clancy Brown. And I also love that he's such a good actor to just, he knows what level he needs to be in the movie. And he knows this character is not a main character. People aren't going to show up for his character. They're not going to get t-shirts or tattoos. He's never going to be anyone's favorite character. So he knows enough to kind of fold into the background and just be present enough to be that constant force. And by the time you get to the duel, it's like, he's owning the whole show.
And I just got to point this out too.
Yeah.
In the third movie, we see, John Wick separate himself from his past life with this ring and everything. That's something we didn't really touch on. But the Harbinger is missing his finger.
Yep.
The same finger.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that as well.
And I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. I like this. So again, just like those subtle cues about different things. I want to know more about his backstory, because if John Wick is the Baba Yaga, I don't ever want to see Clancy Brown the Harbinger before he is the Harbinger in a dark alley.
Yeah, that is a prequel series I would have watched instead of the Continental.
Yeah,
and I would have watched the Continental.
I was just going to say the exact same
time,
thing.
you motherfuckers.
But I think this comes out the last week or when the last episode airs. So
I think so,
3 episodes, and they're doing it weekly. Fucking release your shit.
Just release your shit. Like it's not that
we
hard.
We would have done your show. We would have reviewed your show. It would have been fine. It would have been free press.
Yep.
Might not be good press, but
I don't know. You put Mel Gibson in it. You're
we are a very well respected, well listened to podcast. We have dozens of listeners. Dozens.
That's 2 dozens with an S. All 24 of them could be a baker's dozen. Might be 26,
depending on the week. But yeah, I think we're all kind of on the same page. 4 is a remarkably better film than 3 or 2. And not saying 3 or 2 are bad movies. I know I'm going a little harder on these series than I even expected to, but I still do enjoy them. And 4 for me is like this is what I wanted from 2 and 3. It's like the same sort of tonality that we got with 1, but with a bigger, flashier budget. And 4 did that. And it gave me pretty much everything I wanted except for more puppies. I wanted, where's John Wick's dog? I love John Wick's dog, and he's just nowhere to be seen. And
he was there. He was at the.
There was a dog. There was a dog as well.
He was at the end.
Now, that dog, cool dog. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The character, I feel like he was added in later. That character, he just does not. I'm talking about the tracker. The tracker.
They don't explain the tracker. I don't understand how a tracker fits into this assassin's world. It's either you're assassin or you're not assassin. That's my one big gripe.
Also, he only has 1 or 2 scenes with all the main characters, yet he's still in all those scenes, but he's always so far away. It really feels like he was added in way later as a footnote.
Yeah.
Even when it gets to the duel at the end, he's sitting on some park bench that you can't see in any of the wide shots, but they just keep cutting to him. He's like, yeah, that is a duel going on over there. It's like, you are so clearly not even on the same planet. What is going on here?
That was my one gripe, is they don't really tell how a tracker fits into this world.
And then he's just kind of an assassin too. If he was a tracker, I would have liked to see the tracker who's he uses a bow and arrow. He's a tracker. He's not your normal assassin. Give him something just a little different to pull him into the world where he's still just an assassin. Except he wears a backpack.
Yeah, I think they were trying to do that with the choice of weapon that he's got, because he's got a really old-fashioned kind of lever action rifle.
Sure.
Which doesn't really fit in with a lot of the rest of the world. But like I said, yeah, it's not enough. A bow and arrow or something like that would have been better. To really set him apart, because it's still just a gun. It's just a fancy different kind of gun.
Yeah. Or give him something totally different. He's he's a pacifist. He's still in the assassin world, but he does not attack people. He has his dog that he will sick after people if things get too close. But otherwise, he's a tracker. He will go find things. Once you get there, that's your fucking problem. There's something they could have done to kind of incorporate in the world a little bit different. I think the actor did a great job. I think he did a really good job being that sort of agent of chaos of I'm gonna help out John Wick, so you pay me enough to kill him. But until then, I'm on his side.
Well, just when we with that, even there, when he's calling the marquee in the building with the incendiary rounds, which I can't wait to talk about that scene.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
When he's like it's 30 mil now, and then he hangs up. It's he wants that contract. So I'm guessing he's a tracker and he's gonna get his first mark. You know, if he kills John Wick, that's his first mark, which kind of puts him in the guild. I still can't wrap my head around it, and I really enjoy the
See, I always thought that he wanted
world building there, Brian. I backed you up. The mediocre world building that I suspend disbelief to.
I always thought that he wanted a certain amount because that was how much money he needed to retire. Like you see him early on in the book,
right? With the book,
and he's like, and that's his way of getting out. But the problem that we have with that is he then just goes deeper into the guild to get that money, and it's like, well, you're not going to get out though. And like even Donnie Yang's character Kane tries to warn him about that as well.
Don't make a deal.
Yeah,
you can't get like that. I think that's kind of my thing with 4 and why I like 4 more, because there's way more threads to pull on, and it doesn't feel like you're pulling apart the sweater, if you will. Like you're not unraveling anything. You're finding more and more to keep going. And it's something I think they try to do in 2 and 3 unsuccessfully, but in 4, it's like you have the tracker. It's like there's something there, and I want to figure it out. With you have the Harbinger. It's like there's obviously something there. I really want to see that. And then you have Donnie Yen's character, which this could have been a movie about Donnie Yen's character, and I would have been so into it. This whole like, I got out, I am out, and then Bill Skarsgård's like, you're never out. Why would you assume that was the thing?
Yeah,
and it's like, fuck, and like that is just, it's done so well. And Donnie Yen,
it's that thing of like Donnie Yen's trying to like, you know, Kane is trying to convince him that he's of no use to them. I'm blind. What can I do? I'm a blind guy. And then
you find out that he gave them his eyes, but he's still much of a badass.
Like, God damn, like, and like all of that story, it's all just basically just kind of like sprinkled in, as Ryan said last week, a lot of that plot, but it works better here. Like, and I say it works better here because they brought in these different caliber of actors. When you have Donnie Yen, you have Bill Skarsgård, who can take just those little bit of flakes, or even Clancy Brown, and they can turn it into something that you actually want to see. Like they give you just enough, then they run with it just enough.
Yeah,
and that
when you talk about like caliber of actors, well, you have the guy playing Koji.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm gonna try. I've written it down. Hiroyuki Sanada.
Dude, I love Sanada. That guy rips.
He is so good. I remember the first thing I ever saw him in was The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, and I remember like seeing him in that, going, I like this guy. He's very cool in this film, and every time he shows up in other films, I notice him, and it's like, oh, he's so fucking good. He brings it, and he's amazing in this. Like when he's talking to his daughter, and like, you know, they're talking like going up the escalator, and like, you know, what's this thing, lunch with my daughter, and like, oh, well, she's very worried about it. Like, oh, what did I do to get a very caring, compassionate daughter? And like, you know, he's talking to his daughter. I just love the interaction. And then when he's actually down there and goes to meet the high table people, and he's like, please hand over your firearms. And like, you know, he's basically, fucking hell, he's so good. And I'm genuinely gutted that his character had to die.
Yeah.
Because I
another character I'd watch a spinoff of. Like,
yeah.
Like I would watch that guy in anything. Like I very, very loudly hated the Mortal Kombat movie. He was excellent in it. Like just excellent. And I'm still excited for Mortal Kombat 2, even not liking the first one. So maybe they did something right.
What I like is
we might actually see a tournament at some point.
Who knows? Maybe.
And with like Koji and Kane, you get this sort of like, you don't even get told about it, but you get this idea that John Wick worked with Kane and Koji quite a lot. Like they were almost like this kind of threesome that worked together. Like these.
Side note, would watch that.
What, a threesome with those characters?
Oh, hell yeah.
Listen, man,
which way are we going here?
Whatever you do in your spare time when we're not on Binge Buddies.
So those are 3 gorgeous men. I have no problem with this.
No, me neither, to be fair.
I'd watch.
Choo-choo. Anyway. But I again, like, it's that idea of giving you a little bit, like, kind of like what the first one did. It gives you enough of a breadcrumb to be like, ooh, there's something interesting here, and it doesn't throw the whole loaf of bread at you. Like, so, you know, it gives you enough of a setup of like, you know, these 3 have worked together. Like, not just like, we get that Kane has history with John Wick from the outset, and we know that Koji does. And then when Kane and Koji meet together as well, they've got things. So you're like, oh, hang on, were they like almost like a triad of like that would go and like do these like big hits and stuff like that. Did these two help John get out as well? Are these two other people who helped him complete his impossible task as well? And it just, there's so much you could dig into there because there is just so much,
and like
that's unsaid as well.
And for me, that's where I start having those problems that I mentioned last week, where like I wish there was more of a Bible that this movie franchise was going off of, so we could have gotten those hints earlier about these characters. Like, oh, you couldn't have done that with Cain without Cain, and give us nothing other than just saying the name Cain. Like, there could have been something that could have fleshed this out, because I agree with you. It's something actually I mentioned when we did the second episode of, I thought you're giving the movie more than it was giving you. And I found myself doing that with this one too, because it was just that much better of a film. Whereas I'm looking at Cain and I'm like, was Cain like John's only like venting point? Was he like him and then maybe Winston? Like, those are his only two people he could talk to as a human and not an assassin? Because Cain makes it very clear he saw John Wick as a friend. Like, because he uses the word friend with him many times. Like,
so did Koji as well.
So
Like,
Koji,
I think Koji says it
so
so many times where he's like, is it Kane who says like he's got no marker on you? And then I love the line where Koji's basically like, at what point, how far have we fallen so that friendship and loyalty depend on markers and things like that? I can't remember the exact line, but it's like, it's such a really interesting character that you give not very much in the film, but there's enough there that you're like, oh my god, this is so good. I want more of this.
I have to go. There's so much history there that, like, just the scene when they're walking to the duel after the stair sequence, and Kane goes, "You owe me," and then stabs him in the hand.
Yeah. And we're even now. I love that.
We're even now. Like, that's a buddy cop I would watch. A buddy cop movie I would watch.
Yeah.
But like,
the chemistry in this film, like we were talking about in the last one, the chemistry wasn't fantastic between some of the characters. The chemistry in this one between John, Kane, Koji, all these characters, fucking on point. Like, so good.
It also speaks to me of like, because you go back through like their careers, like Keanu Reeves has worked with Sonata before in 47 Ronin. Like, he's worked with these people before. And it makes me think of like, kind of like the first John Wick of like, why did this movie work so well? Well, because he's making it with the stunt choreographers from The Matrix. So he knew, and they could work together. And then you get to part 4 and I get that same sort of like chemistry where I feel like off screen, Keanu Reeves is still going to spend the rest of the day with these people. Like, it feels like he just is so closely tied to them outside of the franchise. They can be that much better in the franchise.
Kind of feels like it, like, you know, he rang up Sonata and was like, do you want to come do a bit of a short role in John Wick 4? I was like, yeah, sure, cool. See you.
From what I understand about Keanu Reeves, this dude is just very laid back and one of the most friendly dudes. So like, for him and Clancy Brown to be friends, that'd be bar none awesome.
I'd buy it. Like, I'd buy it.
If they came in together, I wouldn't geek out. I'd just be like, hey, can I hang out with you guys? I need a little positivity in my life.
Yeah. You're just too fucking cool, guys. All right, do we want to start moving through this thing a little bit more chronologically?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's dive in. So the for me, unfortunately, I agree with Matt. The opening of this movie, the punches against the thing, that's fucking cool. The first like action sequence of the desert, not a big fan of. For me, it's kind of, it starts at its lowest point. I don't think it's shot that well. It just doesn't really work. And then all the way up to killing the elder, I'm like, after that, the movie kind of starts for me. I can kind of forget everything before that. I get the killing of the elder is needed for the movie to happen, but it just, none of it just really was that grabbing.
Kind of on the same. I like the edit. I like the blowing out the match and the cut to the sunrise over the desert. But then it kind of after that, it's very much, it's kind of like these films don't do basic, and this is very basic action directing of like some sort of chase in a desert. You know, going back to Fast and Furious 4, it's very kind of like on the same level of when you see the cars going through the desert. It's shot very similar to that, which not the kind of thing you expect from these films. You expect something a little bit different. But then again, what else can you really do with a desert? There's not a lot you can really do with it. So I think it's more of a setting issue than like more of like, oh, we have to set this in the desert because that's where we showed it in the previous one. So we just have to do what we can do with what we've got.
I just, again, like, it's to me, it's like, okay, well, so we get this new actor that is not who was the elder the last time. So he's killing the elder, but we understand like no matter what happens, it's going to be replaced. It's even said later on when they talk about the Marquis, kill him and someone's going to replace him. That is my one problem in this is I don't think that this worked well. We've got some very stunning shots again, riding out of the sunrise. I thought that was extremely beautiful. But this sequence does nothing to drive the plot of the movie along. There, right. I said it, Brian.
Thank you. But like after that, the movie just kind of it zips.
It takes
so like,
off.
and it's like, can I forgive? Like, can I forgive it? Yeah, I also would have been fine with them just saying, "I can't believe you killed an elder off screen," and then we saved 20 minutes of this 3 hour.
I wish
movie.
they would have said it like that too.
Yeah, like
I can't believe you killed an elder off screen.
Well, moving on.
Yeah, it's like
better plot device than actually showing it.
Honestly, would have been kind of fine with it. It's like I see.
What I do think is that where they have the line where like you won't find peace unless in death, and it's kind of like setting up, like, you know, how the ending is going to play out.
Yeah. And again,
we'll get to the ending because I have thoughts on the ending, but I wonder if that's like it's kind of like needed there to set something up, maybe.
I mean, I think so, because my notes in that sequence was like, okay, so John Wick dies in the end. Got it. Like, it's like they could not foreshadow it harder. It's like, okay, so that's where this is going. I could have guessed based on how this franchise has been working, but like, I'm gonna see a headstone by the end of this film. I can tell you right now. It's like,
well, and especially when he goes and says what he wants on his headstone.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
But I was already. One wasn't until that was.
Yeah, I was already in by that point. I was in literally from this point. Like they hammer it so hard. The only way you're gonna find peace is death. I know. It's like, okay, yeah, so he's gonna die. And then did the elder really think he wasn't gonna get shot in the face? Like he stood up like he thought he was fine. It's like, dude, he's there to kill you.
It's that cockiness, though, isn't it? Like people in that high position, they're just like, you won't kill me. Like, you know, you don't know what will come down on you. Blah 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 blah. It's like, but he's still a guy standing there with a gun who can just shoot you, and he's killed a lot of people. It's not like he'd be frightened of pulling the trigger.
Yeah,
and I think it comes down to that cockiness. Like what is it? Your overconfidence is your biggest weakness. Is that what Luke Skywalker says in Return of the Jedi? And it's the Emperor. He's Emperor Palpatine. He's overconfident.
Yeah.
Speaking of cocky, can we talk about the Marquis? And his introduction is
in the set of Mass Effect 2. Awesome.
Formidable. In front of giant windows, looking at a target he is about to destroy.
Yeah.
Everything about that sequence, like you knew like this movie was the real deal, because we've got a villain who does not give a fuck. He is just out for destruction and finding John Wick and killing him. But then he kills Sharon, and I'm like, oh fuck, because like those two were like such a good pair.
Can I ask, did they kill Sharon because he was sick? Because I know Lance Reddick died after this, but
it wasn't. Lance Reddick was not sick. It was like it was really sudden.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know. Died all of a sudden.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were killing him off because like, oh, you can't be. I had no idea, so I just didn't know.
No, he died so suddenly that everyone was like so very shocked because it wasn't. There was no underlying health problems or anything like that was known of. I think there might have been like an undiagnosed thing that I don't know. I don't know exactly what it was,
because I was stuck. Like, I was stuck watching that sequence, going like, this is either very fortunate because it works here, or they're doing him a favor. Either way, I think they did it well. So I'm like, okay, this works for this. This seems like the right time to lose this character. It sucks, but this feels like the right moment for it. And then I was like, oh, and then he died. So I guess maybe they're trying to give him an out, and it just was fortunate. It's like, no,
he died of heart disease. I just looked it up. So I mean, really, it's not. It was probably something very sudden. So I think he actually was slated to be killed. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, he is actually. So the ballerina that they're doing with Ana de Armas, he's actually in that. Because that's a prequel to it. Sort of
takes in between 3 and 4.
3 and 4, yeah. So he's actually in that. That's I think that's the last thing he shot.
So
interesting.
I have to say, because Lance Reddick, you know, rest in peace, that he is one of the most underrated supporting actors out there.
100%.
Dude, he is, when he is in a movie, like he brings out so much in the other actors, and he does that in this whole series. You know, whenever you see Sharon, it's like, okay, this is a guy who's very even kill. He'll do exactly what his boss tells him, but it's not really his boss. Him and Winston are like, they care about the Continental. So I wanted to throw that out there. So
they're
it's almost
friends. Like,
and it's very, and I think the reason why they killed him off too is because it shows a greater significance for Winston, because the building blows up. Like, there's your business, there's your best friend gone.
Yeah, and I think it pushes the character of Winston further towards, like, you know, like, and in that whole thing, like way later down, where he's they get talking about the tombstones, because he's talking about, you know, I was thinking about what to put on Sharon's tombstone, and how do you sum up one person with like a few small words, and like, you know, I love the way that he just put friend, because that's what he was, and it's in that kind of like, it sums up their relationship perfectly, that, like, you know, he was a friend, and, you know, when he got killed, for Winston it became less about getting back his position and more like, oh, I want this fucker to die. I want revenge. And I think he even says that to John, like, later on. It's like, what are you getting at, this revenge? And he's also weasels in his own little thing about having the hotel rebuilt. But at the end of the day, he wants revenge for Sharon's murder, essentially.
And I mean, it makes sense too. The way he gets killed is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
It's like, oof.
It's just that line of, like, you know, you no longer have a hotel, so you no longer need a
concierge.
Concierge, and just boom, straight away. And
Skarsgård, I mean, his introduction
so good.
So good.
It's like,
he plays arrogant, cocky young man so well.
And it's like, I knew he was good. Like, I knew this was a good actor, if not only just for the It movies. Like, say what you will about Chapter 2, It 2 kind of sucks. But It 1 was great, and he's great in Part 2. Like, he is just such a very talented actor, and playing just a very menacing villain, and watching him play it here, just a different flavor, but equally terrifying. Like, that's saying something of, like, thing made out of children's nightmares, normal dude, both equally horrifying. And I love, just like, he almost kind of has a smirk. Like, you can tell he's a guy who enjoys his job, and that makes him that much more terrifying, because he does not give a fuck about the human element at all. He's here to do a job. He's gonna get it done.
He's one of these villains, like, that's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
So, like, if you compare him to, like, Santino had all these people who would do it from him, and he's like, oh, I won't deal with these things. I got people to deal with that. But, like, he does have people, but he's also like, oh, I'll kill this guy. I
like how you said that, Brian. He's there to do a job, because the high table almost elects this guy, or, you know, I don't know if he volunteered, but, like, this is the guy that's going to rid the John Wick problem, and he knows how to do it. Winston was the guy that helped him. Let's blow it up. Let's get this moving.
Yeah, and like, and then you do get, like, that slight annoyance of, like, we are desecrating the Continental. Like, wasn't it just brought back like 20 minutes ago in the third movie, and then okay, now it's gone again? Like, Jesus Christ, you make up your minds. But it's still, like, it works, and it works because we had the adjudicator, who it felt more like, you know, you're at, like, civil court, and, like, oh no, now you're going to Supreme Court. Like, oh, they're going to override you. Like, it's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, he's so cold. Like, even after Sharon dies, and Winston says it should have been me, and sorry if I'm stealing a quote, but then he says, yes, but it wasn't. Now, you think about why that is, and perhaps one of us will have benefited from this conversation.
Fuck.
Just cruel.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
It's such a good line, and it's such a cold, like you said, it's such a cold line as well, because he just, like, at that point, he just walks away and just leaves Winston holding the body of his dead friend, and it's just like, it's not even like, he's not even gloating. He's just like, right, yeah, you think about why you're still alive, and then he's gone. Like, and it's not.
And don't waste my time again.
Yeah, essentially, it's like based there. Essentially, yeah, he's just gone. Yeah, you think about what you've done. Don't fucking waste my time again. He's so. I think he's the coldest character in this whole series. To be honest, I can't think of anyone who's not as, like, just that very calculating. Oh well, I'm gonna kill this person now.
There's an argument. John Wick.
Yeah, but John Wick, like, you know, John Wick has, like, there is a goal there. Like, there's like, you know, and it's always kind of like, you know, I've got to kill them to get to this person to kill. But with that he didn't have to kill Sharon to get to his end goal. He did that to
prove a point.
Yeah,
prove
that's
a point.
True.
Yeah,
that's true.
And like, John Wick never kills to prove a point.
I'm sure one of the thousands of people he murdered was to make a point. Like,
When he did it with a pencil, it was a point. Literally.
He's killed 5 people
And-
with a pencil.
and the knives, and knives are points too.
and
the
the nunchucks.
Yep,
Oh,
yeah.
the nunchucks. Oh my god, that whole sequence.
I just love he keeps put him around his neck while he goes and does other stuff. Like, oh, I gotta take these things out again.
What I like about it is like if you watch how he starts off and it's kind of like, oh, just I don't know what I'm doing, and then he's like gradually starts doing all the fancy stuff, and it's this idea of like, John Wick can pick up any weapon and be very proficient in it very quickly, and I have a feeling like the intent in that is to make you think he's never used nunchucks before, but he's that good an assassin that he can pick them up within a few minutes or something. He's doing the Bruce Lee kind of stuff with them.
But this is like I love this segue. Nice job on the hey, let's go to the nunchucks. The Osaka Continental, like this whole sequence is fantastic. I think it's a little long and overplayed, and I think that part where when he goes back with the nunchucks, and then we have him and Kane fighting, that scene could have been without. I think everything that we had before then was perfect. I just, and seeing Kane fight for the first time in the Osaka Continental with the doorbells, loved it. Like this
I love that.
Oh god, the doorbells.
And
they just keep walking by him. Just fucking avoid the doorbells and you'll live.
What I love too is the Marquis's right-hand man, the big burly dude, like he is menacing, and he is really good in what he does. Just being there, his demise later is earned, especially with how it happens. But we'll get to that. But I love the Osaka fight because it's non-traditional. You have bows, arrows, you've got swords.
Yep.
Everything about it is just so spectacular
and very distinct, different sword fighting styles.
Yes,
very distinct. But like to someone who knows shit about sword fighting, it's like you go like, oh, they're doing 2 very different things, but fighting each other. It made it that much like, oh, this is interesting.
My favorite bit about that, like just before that sequence, or like the way that you're building that up, is when Koji's going through the hotel and he just stops at those people at the table and is like, guests have arrived. Be prepared to show hospitality. And they immediately go like bows, arrows, swords, and all that. And I just love that as a term, like hospitality. And it's so good. Like, and you have this like the music beat when the first like arrows come through, and like you have the guy puts his arm up and like blocks one of the arrows, and one of the other ones
the
like,
big dude
goes down. Yeah, the big dude. Like, and then you just have this sort of this music beat where it's like this almost like operatic, and then you've got the camera moves down, and then the armored dudes come in, and it's like, oh fuck. And then
I love their modification of the mask, because when they
the mask,
during the Continental it was blank, but they've definitely got that samurai history with their armor.
Yeah. It's oh god, I can't remember the type of mask that you actually call it now, and that's annoying.
I just love when it transitions to outside, when she goes to see John Wick and then they fight outside, and like you could tell she doesn't like John Wick, but she saves his life. And just when she shoots that dude in the knee when he's going for the kick, and then he blows him or shoots his head off, and he's just hanging there with his leg up. So cool.
Yeah.
Brilliant choreography.
The arrow's going through, like there's one bit where an arrow goes through one of them's body, and there's like his head's kind of like low, and then it just goes boom, and just like pins his head to the wall as well, and it's just so fucking cool. Like I love the what they do with the bow and arrows, because there's this sort of like this transition between swords, and like Koji does it quite a lot as well. Like he's got the sword, and then all of a sudden it's like there's a gun comes out, and he like finishes him off with the gun, and it's just it's so good. And like the idea of like, they've got this improved armor. Let's fucking use samurai swords then, because they are very sharp and will cut through armor. Like body armor doesn't stop a knife. You have specific stab vests for that. They don't stop bullets. So like it's very rare that you would get body armor that would stop both bullets and knives, because it's 2 different types of impact.
I do think honestly my biggest complaint in part 4 is I think they went a little too crazy on the bulletproof suits. Like everyone wearing the bulletproof suits, it gets a little kind of like
they double down.
Yeah.
So I thought that too, but then when I rewatched it again, not everyone is actually wearing them. It's the people who are directly tied to the high table are wearing them,
and the people that have the money.
Yeah.
So and then like the assassin, but then when you get to like Paris later on, none of those dudes have got them. It's only the people who are like the high table, like the Marquis people.
I guess that's fair. I think it was more noticeable in this one than it was before, and I think
it's more noticeable in Osaka because everyone's got the bulletproof suits in there, and everyone's got the improved armor. I think that's why, but they're all high table people. I think when you go out to like all these other guys, because the tracker doesn't have a bulletproof suit. He's got like the little.
He's got the
Kevlar
backpack.
thing.
Yeah, he's got the backpack.
Backpack
With that very cool kind of like.
That was pretty cool.
Fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I get what you mean. Like, because I did think when I was first watching this, thinking, oh, we're gonna be is the whole film gonna be like a lot of people with these bulletproof suits, like kind of too much. But then when you get to that the big stuff in Paris,
the payoff,
it's more just like your conventional.
The payoff at the end though was worth it, and it's earned. You know, they make a big deal out of the bulletproof suits, and then at the end when they're taking off their vets and all like I think that's why they focus a little bit just to have that little comedic payoff.
That was a good payoff. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That was good. Where are we at action sequence wise?
After Osaka, where do they go? Shit. Oh, he goes.
There's Koji versus Kane, which is a really interesting kind of like sword fight where he's like Kane's basically telling him stop, and Koji's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah,
it's like it's like an honor thing for them. And then like Kane kills him. Then you have Akira, his daughter's like, I will get vengeance on you, blah blah blah. And
in a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Yep. 40 seconds. I didn't know. Hey, I like post-credit scenes, but yeah, I digress.
I think
he goes to Berlin.
Joel has swung me to the side. I used to love post-credit scenes. Then Joel has convinced me to not like them.
We're in Berlin at the Lester Roma with Tonks from Harry Potter. When he gets his crest, and then he goes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And then he has to go kill the fat suit dude. Yeah.
Dude,
can I just step in one little thing though?
Yeah.
I am Klaus.
Oh,
I am Klaus. He's such a fucking good character.
Now just that.
And there's like when they arrive there, he brings John in and just goes, "I am Klaus." That's all he says throughout the whole film. I just love that.
So just how we get there, you have Natalie Tina, who plays Tonks in the Harry Potter series, and she played in Game of Thrones. She's like the ruler of the Ruska Roma, and he's trying to get back in because he needs to duel, and he needs to be officially a part of the Ruska Roma. He needs his crest. He needs to be branded. And so they tell him, hey, go kill the guy who killed Uncle Peter. And that's Scott Adkins, who plays Killa. I looked it up. His character's name is Killa.
Of course it is.
But dude, that whole action sequence, I get what you're saying, like, oh, this is a club. But if you're partying in a club that's owned by a world assassin, like, you got to be in the world too. I don't know. Again, I'm suspending disbelief, but just Scott Adkins is a very known for being a stunt coordinator and stunt player. And the fact that he's able to do like all these high kicks in this suit while performing was so good.
And it's also just a very fun, like, cheesy villain, like a very campy villain. Like he nailed that level, and he wasn't overused. Like, I think they made him like the villain of the movie as opposed to Bill Skarsgård. I would have gotten very tired of him. But just the little they used him was like just enough. And he's just kind of like Lawrence Fishburne. He's just chewing the scenery and just doing such a good job of it. I don't really think of Scott Adkins as a good actor, but he was great in this.
Yeah, I think that poker game is great as well, because like I love that, you know, they all get like the different hands dealt, and like one of them gets a royal flush, and then he does that whole speech about, you know, before you even sat down at the table, you know, you'd already lost. And I just love that Kane just goes, let me guess, 5 of a kind. and he's so fucking pissed off. He's just like, whatever.
Some good shit.
But yeah, that's again just the imagery when they're fighting with the waterfalls and everything. Really, really good action set pieces.
Yeah, the slow motion capture in that water as it's very slowly falling as well. And like, I know like Joel moaned a little bit about the womp 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 music, but it works really well.
It does. It really
in
really
that sequence, because they do a really good job with the music editing on this. Is like when the music slows down, the sort of like the camera slows down with it, and it's very good choice of music. Like, because I don't think it's like score there. Pretty sure it's not score. I think it's like some actual womp music that you would get in a like a nightclub or something. I think we may have just found Joel's nickname.
I thought it was Dad Pod.
I got to defend myself a little bit here. So when I said that, I wasn't saying necessarily that it was a slight against the other items. I thought it was a nice reprieve or change of tone
No, I'm
compared to
not
what
saying
everything
it was,
else is,
was a
right.
slight. I'm
It's
just saying that like
fight choreography mixed in with the right mix of music, especially if you can sort of time the hits with the the
beat.
beat of the music, right? Yeah, and have the proper like escalation and de-escalation based on what's happening in the music. That's the important piece of it, and I thought that Vivaldi sequence in the third one was unique because of that. On and on, the series keeps doing a great job with the music.
Yes.
Great job with the choreography. Great job with the visuals. High point all around.
I will just admit, just so Joel's not totally alone in what he had accidentally said, I did get a little tired of the womp womps myself. But I think I credit that more to watching these so fast together than the movie themselves. I think it's just because
I get tired of womp womp music a lot because I'm not a big fan of womp womp music. Like I'm not a fan of popular music. Anything with lyrics in general, I'm not listening to you outside of what you're in here. I listen to film scores. And so but so a lot of what I listen to is what you would deem classical for the most part.
Matt, you are closing yourself off to a wide world of really great music.
I'll listen to it. I'll go, that's a nice song, but I'll never just kind of like have it on my phone and listen to it. Like I listen to music when I'm working, and if I have lyrics when I'm working, I can't focus on my work. So I listen to stuff specifically without lyrics. When I'm doing writing, I listen to stuff without lyrics. I don't want to start just suddenly randomly writing down the lyrics, which has happened before.
Okay.
Anyway, that's a weird window into my brain that no one asked for or cared for or even wanted. But but yeah, I think that sequence is great, and I like how it kind of like it ends with him, like the way he kills him. He just knocks him off, and he just goes head first.
Yeah,
and it's like,
and then he takes the tooth.
The bass in this film, like that hit, like where he hits, like reverberates through the subwoofer and everything. It's like, you feel that impact.
I was thinking about the music, and when we think about action movie, you think about movie with high energy music. And so when you see a lot of music, Michael Bay does a lot of the EDM, and EDM is a lot bigger now. So you think about Blade 2, which I think we referenced in the last one, or maybe been in our cold open, but like there's club scenes in that. There's club scenes in the first Blade. So you have that high energy. And so if you can choreograph action to it, then it works, and it works really well in this series, but there is a lot of it.
Yeah. What I like about the club scenes in this one is because it's high energy, but then it also slows down as well. Yeah. And they do a really good job with like keeping the music consistent and slowing it down as well. Yeah. Like it doesn't feel like it's high octane action all the time. You get these moments of slow motion, these moments of like a reprieve. And I like talking about like the action sequences, like these people who are just kind of like in there still dancing. A lot of this action looks and feels more like a dance, especially in the club scene. So like,
and think about it like this: how many we've had 4 movies, right? The first one, there was the club when he's in the Turkish bath in the basement. Yep. The second one is when the sister gets anointed to the high table at that structure. The third one is, was there a club scene in the third one?
I honestly feel like most of the third one is a club, but I see there's not actually a club, but it definitely looks like it the whole way.
But this one, there's the club sequence. So like 3 out of the 4 movie have a club sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And I think they're all different enough. I think they're different enough from each other. Like it's not just the same club. Like this one has the water cascading down.
Yeah.
The first one's just basically like a club.
Yep.
And like the second one, it's less of a club, more of like a
ruin,
like almost like a gig, really, because it's just kind of like a music performance more than anything. But yeah, we're talking about this club way too much, so let's
move on.
Got more of a film to talk about.
Let's get to the duel, because that's all that's left. That's literally
no. There's the whole.
We haven't done Hotline Miami yet. We got to do Hotline Miami.
No, we've got to.
Well, no. Because like it sets like after this, he gets his position right, and then they go to Paris, and then everything kind of unfolds from there.
Yeah, so they go to Paris to play Magic the Gathering, and then they go to play.
That's so
Hotline
cool.
Miami.
I love that.
I really like
I card Fate. I love it. I want to play.
I
actually really like that.
It was a fun sequence.
The idea of like you got these two people who are choosing like what weapon it is. When is it going to take place? I like how like John Wick when they're saying like, you know, when's it going to take place, and like the guy's like sunrise, and John Wick's like now. It's like I want to get this over and done because I know you. I know you're going to play fucking dirty, so let's go now. And then John Wick wins every other of the card things.
He just loses when it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just such a fascinating set piece, like the glass mirror table with these heavy glass cards.
Yeah.
It is I don't know how to describe it. It's just very neat.
It also
cool. It's the visuals again, like it's just
and sound. The visuals are amazing. The sound is the cards being turned up. That think like because there's a scraping sound. It's very well designed, like visually and audibly. Yeah, that works.
And just the way that sequence ends of like all right, we're done. We're doing this. A nomination. It's like, oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
To take my spot. Yep, we figured.
It is his right. It's like, all right, you're gonna kill your friend. Good luck. Like, damn.
And then you get that really cool, very very brief, but like John and Kane sitting in the church, like
again, beautiful shot of them.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Like I have to admit though, every time I see a scene now where they're in some building where there's about 1,000 candles lit, I'm thinking two things. I'm thinking one, who's lighting all these fucking candles? And I'm thinking two, that's going to set that building on fire. Like, that is a massive fire hazard.
I hate that every time I see it, especially if it's in Paris, I go, so this is American Werewolf in Paris again. Like, I just automatically jump to that movie.
Why would
every
you bring that up,
time.
Man?
The movie is emblazed in my mind, and I don't know why. I'm just
like, I love that movie, but I love that movie for how shitty
it is. Pure dog shit, but it is the best dog shit.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not.
You go from having the best practical effects to the worst CGI.
The worst. Oh my god.
But
we should do those. We should do werewolves.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun, actually.
That actually would, yeah. I could. There's some good films in there.
Yeah, Howling, great movie.
We got to get to bumper cars, stairs, and a duel.
We haven't. We got to talk Hotline Miami. Have we? The Hotline Miami is next, right?
I mean, it's coming up there. Like, but I like
when he's down.
Bowery King.
King gives him his suit.
Yeah, Bowery King. Like that's next. So Bowery King, they're underground, and Bowery King brings him his suit and his gun, which, spoiler alert, that is my quote. But I love that whole sequence where, and then they hear on the radio, and you've got that very obvious reference to the Warriors of the DJ coming in, and like, you know, even calling them boppers. Like, you've all seen the Warriors, right?
Not in a long time.
Okay, go watch the Warriors again.
Yes.
And then you've got they've got the talk about what they're having on the tombstones, and then you've got, you know, Bowery King. Long live the king, and it's just like,
well, see, and I like that
says,
too.
like Winston says something like modest,
right. Well, and see, like, you know, I like that too, like, just to show again the world, you know, the Marquis can't outright say go murder this dude, you know, a wicked man is walking down the streets, like all that is cool in my opinion, and the fact that they're based out of the Eiffel Tower, even fucking cooler.
Yeah.
I thought that was really, really cool because they can kind of oversee and get all these sightings, and there's that map. So I just think that's really, really cool. But again, to the Marquis' characterization is you have, you know, I'm going to play dirty. I'm going to put a contract out before he even makes it. So
yeah,
or slow him down.
And as much as I like that, there's two things that I don't like about the contract. One, what was in the second movie with Lawrence Fishburne with the $7 million. Holy shit, Merry Christmas. We're going to Applebee's. Like, it's one of the greatest moments.
Yeah.
And then by this one, it's like, now it's up to, I think, like 40 million by the end.
It goes to 40 million.
Yeah, because the tracker keeps upping it. And it's like, it kind of ruins like the specialness of like a $7 million contract. Oh my, now it's up to 40. Like the number.
But I think that shows you how desperate he is.
No,
I think
it does.
It's like that. It's that desperation, and like what I like about that is you see how desperate he is, because when he rings the tracker back and he's like, "Yeah, fine, whatever, 28 million." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the price is not that anymore." And he throws his phone on and he's like,
"Yeah,
get the fucking phone!" And like, it has to be brought like an old school
rotary
landline phone.
It's kind of that moment from Fast and Furious when all the family has Dom tethered and they're like, it's 3,000 RPM, 4,000 horsepower. But it's like numbers go up.
Yeah. Big numbers mean more serious.
Yeah, and that's a very good comparison, Joel, because that's kind of what I was doing with this. Because then the other problem I had with it was the French DJ who just keeps telling it, like, just keeps broadcasting it on the radio, like assassin radio, like, come on, folks. Oh, they couldn't get it done. Oh, they couldn't get it done. Like, I didn't need that. I get what they're doing. It's
the Warriors, though. It's direct reference to the Warriors, because that's exactly what happens on the Warriors. Like, every time they move from one gang territory to another, there's the person on the radio. Ling Thigpen, I think, is the actress in the Warriors. Like, sort of saying, "Oh, well, the blah 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 didn't manage to get it done. So let's hope that the baseball Furies have got a better chance."
Yep,
that's fair. Okay, yeah, I could see that, at least as far as a call out goes. I'm just trying to think about it in context of this movie, and it kind of bumped me. But as a reference, I can see it working a little more. I'm not sure how much. I'll have to watch it again at some point. I really want to watch it in the theater, so I'm gonna have to watch it again at some point.
Well, when I come over, when I come over to LA again, I'll bring my 4K Blu-ray and whack it on in the theater.
There you go. It'll be great. I would totally watch it. I have a whole system we can watch it on. It's really fucking cool. It only exists in my theater. Anyhow,
we should do that with the Venture Brothers movie as well. And I can be like, I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh.
I haven't done it yet, so I need to do that. Anyhow,
wait for me.
So are we at Hotline Miami now? We're here
basically. So there's the various action sequences that you go towards that. So you start with, like, in the street, where you get that really cool French rendition of Paint It Black comes on.
Yes.
That's cool.
And that's where, like, he gets run over by 15 cars.
Yep.
And then you get to the Arc de Triomphe. The Arc de Triumph.
Yep.
Not Trump. Not
Trump.
Don't say that again.
Turnaround. French turnaround.
Big French circle car go.
Yeah. And you've got that really cool sequence where, like, there's, like, people are getting hit with the cars and going flying in it, and he's literally shooting them in the air like it's skeet shooting. Yep. I love that whole sequence. But yeah, and then let's just skip ahead now to when he gets away from there, and then he's in that building, and we get to Hotline Miami.
Because it's just like the second it starts, like, it took me a moment to clue in, but since the music has always been very Hotline Miami already. And
I don't know what is Hotline. I have no idea.
It's a video game. I've never played it, but
it's an ultra-violent top-down video game where the whole point is to go through a murdering spree in different buildings, and sometimes you sort of find your way up a crime syndicate like that. But it's very stylish. Lots of wub-wubs throughout the entire thing.
So many wub-wubs.
And it's just very slick and smooth.
But
everything about that just gusts.
But the camera angle from Hotline Miami is the exact same
up
above, where you see, like, the hard walls in between, where you can shoot between the walls, all that stuff. Even the way, like, I fucking love the henchman, like, check out this flaming shotgun I got. I'm gonna fucking kill John. He gets murdered and it's stolen immediately.
Well, that's the thing. It's another thing that they set up earlier on, where you see all the gangs are getting ready, and you see the people get out, like, the Dragon's Breath shotgun rounds, and they're practicing, like, they have like a mannequin with a suit on it, and they're shooting. It's like, oh, look at it, set it on fire.
Yeah, we got this. And he's killed, and it's stolen right out of the gate, and it's fucking great.
Yep.
But then because he's using that shotgun, it makes that sequence to me feel more Hotline Miami, because you see the flaming spread of the shotgun every time, which feels very much like
the sparks. And then you've got, like, the guys getting set on fire again. That whole sequence, it's one shot. There's no edits in that. They shot it all in one go. No CGI. It's all practical. I remember reading about that.
They always say, hey, one takes. They film it to be one take, but that is definitely an editor's job to make it seem flawless.
No. Because they talk. I remember reading an interview where they were talking about, like, they literally had it with stopwatches going, we're at 12. You need to get to this point.
That makes it better.
And it's full on choreographed of, like, they had stopwatches while they had this camera moving through, and it's like, that's what I mean. There's no edits in, like, those sequences where the camera goes up and it looks like it's all one shot. It is all one shot.
Okay.
Because it's all timed so much.
Yeah, when and it just real winners, they're that much better. Like, oh man. Like, I like Birdman. Birdman's a great movie, but you can
But
find
that
the
movie-
edits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that movie is not one take.
No, it was not one take at all. This one clearly was. At least I thought it was clearly was. I'm glad to hear that Matt watched it and found that it was, because I could not find those edits.
I appreciate that.
there's
Like,
no-
the fact that
like-
they did it with stopwatch gives credence. So Matt, good find.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, like I can't remember where I read the interview. I'll see if I can find it and drop it in the chat. But it's really interesting because he's talking about, like, we've got all these stunt performers, and it's actually Keanu Reeves as well. Like, they were saying, like, we didn't have to have it do it, but Keanu Reeves was insistent. No, I'll do it because, I move in a very certain way. So, like, as much as I can do, it doesn't matter if you can see my face or not. People are still going to notice, like, by the way that I move, and it's just so fucking good. And the fact that you have a stuntman literally on fire in that sequence, and it's all, and he runs out and he's getting.
I remember that.
away,
Yep.
and it's fucking amazing. Like, it's just so cool. Like, he hits the boiling water, which for some reason explodes or something in the kitchen, and it just, like, the flame comes right up towards the camera. So cool.
So great. Like, it just the whole sequence is just like. That's why I not only why, but like, when I don't want to spoil the rankings episode next week, but when we get to, like, favorite sequence, there's no chance this doesn't win for me.
It's
Like,
it's up there for me.
Like, there's just none, because it's done so impeccably well that in a movie that, admittedly, by this time I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying it, but I'm definitely ready to put it down. And then that happened. I'm like, never mind, I'm back in. This is great. Like, because I was ready to get to the duel at this point, because I was very excited about the duel, especially when they changed it from being Bill Skarsgård to Donnie Yen. I'm like, I am into this. More action sequences. Well, I guess we have to get through. Okay, if you're gonna do it, this is how you do
and
it.
then you got the stairs.
Yeah, well, the stairs I could do without.
I like the stairs.
The stairs is good because it really brings the character of the tracker. It kind of gives him that closure that he needs.
Yes, I'll give
Which
you
is
that.
fine, because him and during this Hotline Miami sequence, it comes up to where it is the tracker and John Wick, and of course Big Burly secondhand man of the marquee rolls in, and he's about ready to kill the dog, and John Wick takes that or prevents that. So like, the tracker's like, okay, this guy, I get it. Like, everybody loves dogs, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, what I like about the stairs bit is it's the dog as well. He looks down at the dog, and the dog's like, there's like puppy dog eyes, and it's
But I mean, in that sequence, we have secondhand man of the marquee die, and it's great the way he doesn't die right away. He's going for a gun, and then all of a sudden you just hear the dog, and you know what's coming. And of course, the tracker says nuts and just comes up with his repeating revolver, or what is it? Repeating
rifle. Yeah,
shoots him in the head, and as he's going, the dog follows him, but the dog stops and lifts up his leg to pee on him. So earned, awesome,
so great.
That's what I like about this movie too, is it leans a little bit more into the humor.
Yeah,
just a little bit, not a whole lot. It doesn't go over the top, but it just definitely gives you that gravitas of like, we're giving you a lot. Let's make you laugh in between.
And that's what I was talking about earlier when I mentioned how campy this movie is. Because when you go full camp, you can allow that humor to happen and have it not break your movie. Have it not be like this. Yeah, have it feel like this still works. What
I like about that, the stairs thing as well, is when John and Kane start working together as well, and you get Kane with the pencil. Way better than what happens in 2, because it's set up very subtly that he has, like, he's been like listening and writing down, then he puts the pencil in his pocket, and then like a guy grabs him and he just pulls the pencil out, just goes straight in his hand. Yeah, and then you got that brilliant bit where Big Burly dude like comes up to him and is like, Kane puts the gun in, he's like, you can't shoot me, and he's like, fuck, you're right,
but I can't hit you,
but I can hit you, motherfucker. I just love that line. It's so good.
I think my only problem with the stairs was just how often he fell down them.
That's
like that.
I think that it leans into that campiness again, because it's just it's that sort of stupid, like, it's got right to the top and then boom, bam, 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 bam.
But this is also the point
where it's
again,
like, and it happens over again. Like, oh my god, okay, again, there's a lot of stairs.
But that's when Kane comes to the top and is like, John, I'm going to need you to get up and get up to the top of those stairs.
Because his daughter's life is on the line. I mean, that's perfect.
Go ahead, Joel. What were you saying?
It's kind of like when you're leaving a party and you're trying to say goodbye, but like the person who's the host won't stop talking, and then somebody else comes over and starts talking to you too. and you're just like, I'm ready to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Like I'm tired.
I go back to what my wife said. John Wick Chapter 3 is John Wick 3 walking on broken glass. John Wick 4 is bumper cars and staircases. So
that's a very fair review. But we're getting close to the end of this thing, and we do have to wrap up here pretty quick. So let's talk this duel. I love the duel. The duel for me is really the icing on the cake of this. It kind of took a movie that I was mostly enjoying and turned it into something I legitimately enjoy. I think it's great. I think it's shot great. I have the knowledge of knowing who John Wick is and knowing how good of an assassin he is to know he is not missing by accident. If they wanted to hit each other, they would have both shot each other in the face from the get-go.
yeah.
And the fact that Bill Skarsgård doesn't pick up on that, I find fascinating. He is so convinced that the collateral he has against Donnie Yen is going to make Donnie Yen fight for him. And it's like, no, it's going to make me come up with a plan how to kill you.
And they have
Dumbass.
to wing each other. They have to wing each other
Yep.
to get closer.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I like as well where like when is it the first one where he goes, remember your door, and just fuck off. I love that. And it's just like
My favorite is
fucking dumb.
My favorite is next, but that's my quote, so we're not saying it.
I love how quiet this end sequence is.
Yeah.
In a series of movies that has so much noise and craziness, how quiet it is, and with the characters' relationship, it gives it a weight that a lot of this movie series to me is lacking. And all the details you guys have pointed out, how they've been grazing shots for the purpose of, getting their revenge and
luring him in,
and it's just, John Wick does finally get his one too many bullets in him to where he won't survive this, but like it's the outcome that he wanted.
Yeah.
Well, and see, like I like too, like just the realization too. They're getting closer, and the Marquis like, I'll do the coup de grace. Like, it's on me.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
It's that Weasley element and everything.
Yes,
of
and
him.
Winston just looks at it and goes, "You arrogant fool." He never fired his shot, and then it cuts back to his face. His eyes go wide, and John Wick goes, "Consequences."
Consequences.
Boom.
Yes.
Boom. Yeah.
Boom. I was like, all right,
it's just
done. I'm out.
the delivery that Ian McShane does. It, you arrogant asshole.
Yep.
It's like it's so like I just love that. Like because it's just he's not seeing like everything else. He the only thing he's seeing now is like, yes, Sharon is getting avenged. Fuck you. And I love that.
Well, and it's one of those like Winston's been holding in his feelings this entire time, and he finally gets to just like blurt out and joyous.
He gets to be the harbinger of his death. Yeah. He gets to like, you're about to die, dude.
And for me, it's gonna be my favorite moment. So we're kind of there anyway. So I'm just gonna say it again here in about 2 minutes. But my favorite moment is the harbinger at the end of this, where you can just see him taking like a metaphorical, like huge ass book, like closing the book on this bullshit. You're good. We're out. Mm-hmm. See ya.
Yeah.
What I like about that is like it's very subtle, but like Clancy Brown does this kind of when he sees him dead, he just sort of looks kind of like, and it's just so good. It's like a very quiet kind of grumble sound, but like that's Clancy Brown.
Yeah,
like he does a quiet grumble sound all the time, and it's amazing.
Yep.
And then just one last shout out before we get into quotes and moments. Keanu Reeves finally got to play Spike Spiegel. He did it. He pulled it off.
Yeah.
Been wanting to do it since the 90s, and he did it.
We have to ask though, do we think that he's dead?
I don't.
No.
I don't think he's
dead.
No,
I don't think he's dead.
Would the film franchise let him be dead? No.
Especially with how much
I don't think he's dead, but I don't want a fifth. I think this is the perfect ending, and I think
I agree.
If you extend it any further than that,
give us the ballerina.
Yeah. Give us spin-offs, give us whatever. But John Wick himself, I think he is like it goes back to the open where it's like you will only find peace in death. So he's basically dead, as it were, but he's living somewhere, a peaceful existence somewhere for the rest of like that's what I want. I don't want John Wick Chapter 5. As amazing as it probably could be.
What you want is the Dark Knight Rises end.
This is where I side with Joel because I can't. He asked Winston to take him home.
Yeah.
So like to me, like, is he taking his body home or is he going to take him home discreetly? They really leave it to the imagination of the viewer. They
Yeah.
really do.
That bit as well, like where he goes, Winston, it's like Jonathan, and like you can see the emotion like
Yeah.
behind Winston. He's like, will you take me home? And it's like, of course. And like you can see that Winston's holding back tears.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so good because it's like he's literally sort of like, you know, we've talked about the relationship between John and Winston as like, you know, this almost like father and son kind of role, and it is kind of like, you know, the son is dying before the father, and I like that. And you could say that he's dead. You could say that he's still alive. So I prefer that he's alive, but he's living somewhere in peace, and he's completely away from that, and he's just living with the memory of Helen, and he's got that. And but you know, he could have died, and he's died a free man. Like, you know, he's died like 2 minutes later, but he's died completely free of all obligations from the table as well.
And
Is Winston John Wick's son, father? Because he says goodbye, son.
Yeah, I just took that as Father Lee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember, he was an orphan. He was brought into the Ruscaroma as like a servant.
I mean, they could change their lore at will. I think
That's very true.
Yeah. But no, I never took him as the legitimate father. I did have that question when he said it. I'm like, are they trying to? I don't think they are.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, you know, when an old, like basically like how when any older person calls you son, it's not literal.
Here's my only thing, and then we'll jump into it, is I don't see how they make a John Wick Chapter 5 that isn't just basically rehashing this. I was out, something brought me back in, and now I have to deal with the high table. Like, I don't know how you approach it and not just make it a rehash. So at this point,
that's why I don't want it, because it doesn't work.
Don't do it. Yeah.
It's like it's perfect as it is. In my opinion, it's perfect as it is. I think it's a very nice sort of closed loop. That he has gone off and found peace again.
Yeah.
You stick a chapter 5 into that, you are literally just, there's no reason for that. Like, you know, everything after the first one, that none of those films could have really been the ending. They were always setting up for a continuation, whereas 5 is very much kind of like a closed book on, right, this is the end now.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be like you know, with Return of the Jedi, if they just randomly had the Emperor come back for some bizarre reason.
Who would do that,
you know?
stupid fucking
I know.
plan?
Like, it makes no sense, right? Like,
Kathleen Kennedy, I believe we are calling you out at this point.
I'm calling out JJ fucking Abrams and his shitty fucking writing. Done giving you a goddamn pass.
Yeah.
Bitch. Anyhow.
All right. Reports. Oh shit.
All right. I think it's time for quotes and moments. Unless anybody else has something else that you need to get going. No? Okay, great.
Nope.
So I know I said my favorite moment was already, but since I just said them, to change mine to the nunchuck fight, because I'm a big Michelangelo fan, and seeing nunchucks, that was cool. I definitely enjoyed that. And then the line I had, it's not necessarily from this movie, but it's in this movie. But I think it was a good foreshadowing for the movie was going. And it's that Clancy Brown line. It's a very, very common line, but I still liked it, which was, a man's ambition should never exceed his worth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it felt like a very good, like, this is what this movie is. Like, just one of those good lines, and delivered by Clancy Brown just made it work that much better.
His line delivery on that is incredible, because he's basically telling the Marquis, don't fuck this up, because you are not, you're not
untouchable. Yeah.
You fuck this up, you will end up dead.
Yeah. All right, Matt, why don't you go? No, I want Matt to go because he's got the longest. I know Matt's got to read us a book.
Oh yeah, he's probably got a monologue.
Okay, so I'm gonna favorite moment, hands down, Hotline Miami. The top down shot, fucking amazing action sequence. One of the best action sequences I've seen in the last 10 years, because it's just so well done. Move on. Favorite line: I'm going to need a gun. I thought you'd never ask. 9mm Pit Viper. How'd you get this? I know a guy who knows a guy who shot a guy. 21-round capacity magazine with a built-in composite of a virtually no muzzle flip, fiber optic front sight, ambidextrous safeties, flared magwell for faster reloads, 2-pound extreme trigger for those more how should we say intimate encounters. This Viper has ferocious fucking fangs. I love the button on that. Like this viper has ferocious fucking fangs. Like I've said that to people about my airsoft version. I've literally gone like, with this, that looks so cool. I was like, yeah, and this viper has ferocious fucking fangs.
It's a very good line.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, now you can go.
All right, so my favorite moment is them walking after the stairs, and he goes, oh god, I just lost it. He goes, you're gonna owe me for this, John. Then he stabs him in the hands. He goes, now we're even. Like, just that whole buddy cop. I love Hotline Miami, but everyone's gonna say that. It's probably gonna come up in our next episode. So just that camaraderie between those two, like, you believe that they're friends and this is the business that they're in. My favorite line is, you already allude to one of it, is when he goes, when they're loading the guns, and the second is kind of encouraging words. He goes, remember your daughter, and King goes, fuck you. And then it cuts to John Wick, and John goes, last words, Winston? And Winston goes, just have fun out there. Like, it's almost like just have fun out there. Like, I'm like, okay.
Then when it gets down to, like, is it the last one or something? He just says, just kill him.
Yeah.
It's like, you've had your fun, just kill him. Yeah. My life's on the line here as well,
But he did not know what they were doing. So
yeah.
Okay. So I'll throw it out. I have two quotes. Fortunately, Ryan got the first one, which is the duel. Last words, Winston. Just have fun out there. Favorite moment is the duel, for everything we've talked about already, so I won't linger on that. My other quote is a conversation between Kane and John, saying goodbyes, saying hello. You think your wife can hear you? No. Then why bother? Maybe I'm wrong. For a series that I think lost its heart a little bit through parts of this, it was a quick gut punch. Like, this is going to make your heart hurt a little bit, because you finally very snappily, kind of like the way that he gets stabbed in the hand, just a snap quick 3-word sentence that just makes you feel for him, and then think you're like, man, like he has no hope, but he can't let go of it,
Yeah,
I love that thing. And if it wasn't for like, the standard quote that I usually go for when someone's describing a weapon, that would have been mine. To be fair.
Talked about a gun. There's Matt's line.
Yep. I'm a simple person.
It's like the meme of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, how many of you saw that sequence with the Bowery King and went, that's Matt's line?
I mean, I thought about it.
I did think about it.
Crossed my mind.
Yeah. I remember thinking that sounds like something Matt would say. So I guess that works.
Yeah.
All right. So we've done the John Wick series. I know we had talked about doing the Continental, but since they're releasing it weekly, we thought they're going to do it in one go, because why wouldn't you? They didn't. So we're not going to do the Continental. Maybe we'll circle back around to it. I've said that about many shows, and we've never done it once, but maybe this will be the one.
I'll watch it and let you know how shit it is.
That will help. If it's good, then maybe we'll even if it's shitty, we might still watch it. We did watch Hobbs and Shaw.
You're welcome.
So
that's basically the baseline of like, what have we watched now?
And let's be fair, we also watched The Exticle Show. So we have watched some pure shit just because
I've forgotten about that. I think I blanked that from my memory.
Yeah, I just remembered that one. Like, we did watch
that one episode where it's just, no, why have you done an entire episode that is just that kind of joke?
I don't want to talk about it. Like, it's so fucked.
No.
Like, we have watched something worse than Hobbs and Shaw for this show. I just remembered it. Requires another brain scrub. It was bad. Anyhow,
that's a very, very, very low bar, though.
Yeah.
Like, that bar is like in the core of the earth, I think.
So we do have a show coming after this. It's not going to be Continental. We do have a wrap-up episode in between, but I'll give you a hint for what's coming next. I'll tell you what it is next week. But if you can't guess off this hint, you're fucked. That's all I'm going to give you. If you can't guess off of that, you don't know.
That's right. More EDM and more Joel bitching.
Even I know what this is referring to.
You just know because you know what's coming.
No, I could have gotten off of that one cue. I really could have.
And I don't think EDM comes until like part 11. I want to say. Oh, there might be some in 8. I don't know.
I just thought
there is when Kelly Hugh dies in the club.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So part 8. There we go. I do know this franchise well.
Yes, I do too. I can't wait.
I'm so excited for this. Oh man. Oh, they're so bad, but so good. All right, but
I am looking forward to this as well because do you know what I'm looking forward to the most about this one though?
Crispin Glover.
Not having to watch them all in like the space of 2 weeks.
That was a bad idea.
That was rough.
Yeah, we're gonna space this one out a little bit better. All right, let's do a very quick round of plugs so we can say goodbye for this show. Every other show, the ATH Network. Be sure I can't even fucking ATHpod.com. There it is. I said it. I said the thing. Go ahead, Joel.
Afterthoughts is a book club podcast. Super GG Radio is a video game podcast. I want more F-Zero than F-Zero 99, but I'll take what I can get.
That's such a bummer. That's the only reason I was excited. I got to give you my friend code still, but fuck.
It is real good. Like, don't get me wrong.
Is it online only, or can I play it offline?
It is online only.
Motherfucker. All right, Ryan, do your plugs.
You can catch me at the Front Row Flashbacks, where I talk about movies from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Depending on when this comes out, you've either talked about Tombstone or no, we've already talked about Tombstone. We've talked about Jurassic Park, or we're getting into our Monster Cast, which is a month we love because we love horror, which is perfect for the next movie or next series we're about to tackle.
What? Matt, anything to plug?
No.
Perfect. All right. So thank you everyone so much for listening. This has been an absolute blast. Be sure to tune in next week when we do our wrap up. Got a whole bunch of fun rankings coming at you. I'm going to need Matt's help coming up with some of these categories because I don't really know what to do here, but this was Matt's thing, so I'm going to let Matt run with it.
I have ideas.
I'm sure you do. Hopefully it's not Best Guns because I can't tell you the difference between fucking any of them. They're the ones that went bang, bang. I like that one. That's all I got. But tune in next week because it'll be a lot of fun when we rank it because Matt's going to help and me doing the bang bang stuff will not be there. So it's going to go bang bang. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.